How to use Asana for beginners. Full in-depth tutorial. Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'll be showing you guys everything that you need to know about using Asana. Asana is an online project management tool that can help you in elevating and ensuring that your projects are done effectively and efficiently. Asana can serve not only as a project manager, but is amazing at creating detailed reports, resource management, and automating your workflows. So let's get started with Asana. Now, to get started with Asana, you don't necessarily have to create a business email. Asana can be started up with any email. So simply head on over to asana.com and then click on Get Started. Once you click on Get Started, you're going to type in your email address over here and then click on Continue. You can also continue with your Google Work account. Now, you are going to get a code in your mailbox to verify your email address. So simply open up that code from your mailbox like so, and then just type it in over here. Once you have completed this step, it's time to move on towards the next step, which is the onboarding of Asana. So, when you create a new account on Asana, you have to complete the basic information for that account. So, we're going to enter our name. Then you're going to add a representative image of you. If you don't want to add your own image, you can skip this part, but if you do, you can add it like so. Then you're going to type in a suitable password for your account and then click on continue. After that, Asana will ask you a couple of onboarding questions. This includes your own role in the company as well as the function that describes your work. You can choose to skip these questions as they are not necessary. Now, over here, you're going to answer your main objective with Asana. And in this tutorial, I'm going to be focusing on project management. So we're just going to select that over here and then click on continue. After that, you're going to choose the first project that you are working on. This can be changed later on, so it's really not something that you are supposed to ponder too much on if you don't have an ongoing project. Just add your business name and then you can later on change it. After that, Asana will ask you to add a couple of tasks that are present within this project. So within your ongoing project, if you have any tasks, you're going to add those. Let's say for me, I have to arrange 100 lilies, find suppliers for 7,000 white roses, like this, and then I'll just click on continue. After that, you're going to choose the way you're looking to group your tasks within your project manager. For most projects, groups are created in three segments, either a list of the to do section, which means that these are tasks that are scheduled or are meant to be scheduled, but currently they haven't been completed. Then you have a doing section. This reflects the tasks that are ongoing. Because Asana is such an amazing tool, you can add a lot of different details about a task, and a task can be very long. So you can add it in the doing section, which means that it is ongoing. Then you can add a completed or done section. Now I'm going to rename the doing section to in progress and the done section to completed, like so. Once you have done this, click on continue and move towards the next step of choosing your personal preference of layout. You have list views, board views, timeline, as well as calendar views. I personally prefer a board view, so you can choose that as your default view. Click on continue over here, and from here, you're going to enter the email address of your colleagues or any other person that is meant to work within your Asana board. Click on continue, and once you do that, you can download Asana for your other applications or devices as well. But we're going to skip for now and proceed on to our Asana dashboard. Now, when you create a new account, you have a 30-day free trial of the premium tools on Asana. Now, let's get started with actually setting up the rest of our project manager. So on the left, you will have a menu bar. You can open the sidebar up or close it as well. You have a home section, which allows you to see a summary of everything. So For your home section, this is going to be different for each individual within your space. This is a section where you can only see everything that is present over here. So you're going to click on customize and you can customize the background color. You can also add different types of widgets. So you can add things that are important to you. Let's say I want to add a private notepad and I also want to add maybe my goals. And after that, we have a My Tasks section within that, but I don't want that in my Home section. So I'm going to click on Remove Widget. Then we have our project as well as people. I'm going to remove the people widget as well, and I'm going to make the project widget a full-size widget. Once we've done that, we can move towards our next section, which is a separate text section in your Asana workspace called My Tasks. This allows you to see everything that is assigned to you, and then a simple inbox for messaging within your teammates. Now, moving on towards our first project on the left, we're going to click on the project name. Now, you will see on the top you have an overview of the project, and you can customize the appearance of this overview. Then you have your views. I have a board view, list view, timeline, dashboard, calendar. All of these are different ways that I can view this particular board. Now, if you don't necessarily require a certain type of view, you can choose to remove it by clicking on these three dots and then clicking on remove. Then after that, you also have attached files, messages, and workflows. You can see on the top right, you even have customization options where you can customize the fields present within each individual task of that work project. So I'm going to open up the view of the board view. Now I have a to-do section, and after that we have an in progress section. Then after that we have a completed section. Now after that we're going to add another section called stuck. And once I add this section, I'm going to hold it like so and then move it over here. This is going to allow me to see any tasks within my project that are being worked on but have been difficult to achieve. This ensures that your entire team knows where the project is having hiccups and how you can resolve them. You can also add a new section called completed or incomplete left. So if there are tasks that are left out, usually for project managers, this is not a field that you need, but if you do, you can add that as a new section as well. Now, once we've added our sections, it's time to set up our own types of fields as well as our own types of priorities. So for this, you're simply going to go on to customize on the top right. Once you do that, you have different fields that are added by default. You have priority and statuses. Now, if this is something that you don't want to mention, such as the priority, you can remove this particular field. But priorities are important for most project managers, so I'm going to leave it in. We have low, medium, and high, but I want to change the colors for this, so I'm just going to click on the color and I'm going to select high, and then for low, I'm going to go with green, medium, and high. Then after that, I'm just going to click on Save Changes. Then we have the status of this particular task, whether it is being completed on track, whether it's at risk, or whether it is off track. Now, I think I'm going to customize this a little. So this is going to be on track, and this is going to be pending, or I think at risk sounds better, and this is off track. And I'm going to change the colors for these to be in a darker color scheme. I'm going to go with blues on this one. At risk is this, and then on track is white. Or I don't like white. I think I'm going to go with black. And then after that, I am going to click on Save Changes. Now, if I want to add maybe a tag to reflect the department, so the functional department that this task is related to, I can do that in the form of fields as well. I'm going to click on Fields and then click on Add on the top right. Once you do that, you're going to click on Create New, and you're going to set the field title. So for this, this is going to be department, and then you can choose the type of field this is, whether it's a single select, whether it's a multi-select, date, people, text, number, formula, or more. So I want to select this as a single select because or maybe if my tasks are cross-departmental, I might want to have the multi-select option. So I'm going to select it as multi-select because my task might be multi-departmental. So maybe my finance department and my operations department have to complete tasks together. So I want to be able to illustrate that within the task. So I am going to add all of the departments that are going to be working within this workspace. So let's say we have finance, we have HR, we have operations, we have, let's say, marketing. Yeah, let's say these are the four departments we have. We can assign colors to each department like so. And we're going to go into operations and then marketing like so. Now, after I've done that, I'm just going to click on create field. You can add more fields and you can even click on the add icon on the top right, then click on recommended fields. And you can describe the type of project that you have. Once you describe the project that you have, the Asana AI will provide you with different recommendations of the types of fields that might be useful for you. So, let's say the project that we have is to decorate a 10-day long event. And then I'm just going to ask it to recommend the field. The more details you provide, the better field suggestions Asana is going to be able to provide for you. We can add the quantity and the flower type. That could be a great type of field, but I think this looks fine for now. Because these three types of fields are very generalized, these can be applied to any project. Almost all projects have a priority status as well as a departmentalization field. Now, after that, you can proceed with customizations upon the rules, forms, task templates, and apps. But first, let's get into task templates. We're going to click on task template, and this is what your standard task is going to look like. You'll see on the top you have a task, the template name, all the information, subtasks, as well as a separate section where you can attach a file. This is a pretty standard template, and I don't want to make any changes in it, but you can if you so choose to do. Then after that, you can click on rules to add automations as well as simple notifications. But these are usually set at the end of every project manager. So once you've set up the rest of your project, then you can set up rules and automations, and you can even link third-party applications. So if you're using Zoom for meetings, if you're using Slack for communication, you can link those apps into Asana. And this can make it really easy for you to have your data from Asana, have your progress from Asana, get notified within Slack or, any messages within Slack get notified within Asana. Now we're going to proceed forward with setting up the rest of our project. So for this, first we're going to go back into the overview section. And in our overview section, we have a project description. So we're going to click on show examples, and you can see there are different types of project descriptions that can be added. So we're going to add a welcome to our team. This is a pretty standard one. I'm going to add our project description. We are looking to create the best summer experience for our guests at the ABC Resort for the summer/spring floral festival. And then you can add more details about how we're communicating, what's the project deadline, or what are our particular goals or milestones. Then below that, you will have project roles. Now, these are really important to set. So any type of project, if you have created the project, then you're going to be the project owner. You can add someone else as a project owner and then remove yourself if you're setting the space up for someone else. You can also click on add member over here and add more people. And then you can also customize the permissions on each individual member. So this person that I added over here, I've added them as a editor. Now I can also add them as a project admin. I can add them as a commenter, which means that they can comment, but they can't edit anything, or as a viewer, which means that they will not be able to comment or edit anything. So let's say they are a commenter. Usually within larger workspaces, you add most people as commenters, which allows them to keep track of the tasks they are meant to do, but they are not able to delete or edit fields within the project space. Or for administrative level positions, you add them as editors or project admins. Once you have set up the project roles, it's time to set up your portfolios, resources, and goals. Now, you can set up your goals on the left, and these are all present within the Insights section. You can even click on New Insights and build new goals, portfolios, and dashboards. We're going to set up our goals first, and we're going to add our first goal. Let's say that for the project that we are doing, our first goal is to, let's say, it's to generate 10K in revenue. And we can add the time period for this as well, which is going to be the first quarter or the second quarter of the next year, like so. So we're going to add that over here on 2026, 2025, like so. Then we can add the privacy of this goal. So if this is only a private goal where you only want this to be displayed to owners or members of this goal, or if it's a goal that you're willing to make public for your entire company. Now, after that, we are going to click on Save Goal. And once we do that, we will see a status bar for this goal as well. So let's say that this is currently on track, and we can see we can add a summary. We can add what we have accomplished so far, as well as what is blocking our progress and the next steps. This is a really amazing tool to use to boost your company's morale and ensure that everyone within your team knows what they are working towards. You can also add rewards for achieving goals for your company as well. You can see on the top right, you have a reminder. So, how often do you want to update this goal? Let's say that we are going to be updating the goal on a biweekly basis, and we can add a recipient for any updates as well. We're going to click on post, and just like that, we have a simple goal created within our workspace. Now, you will also see a My Goals section, so you can create goals that are only valid for you. Above that, you have a portfolio section. Now, portfolios allow you to get status updates as well as manage your member workload across multiple projects. This can be really helpful if you're working simultaneously on multiple different things and your team is working simultaneously as well. Click on Portfolios on the left and click on Explore Portfolios. This will create your portfolio on Asana. And once your portfolio is created, you will see it as a folder within the project section. So each individual will have their own portfolio and different projects listed within the portfolio. You can open up your portfolio and see any of your work that you're doing. You can click on Add Work and add a new project over here. You will also see a timeline view of all the different types of projects you're working on and when you're going to be working on them, as well as a simple dashboard to monitor progress, to see your progress in a progress bar, to manage your workload, as well as view messages. Now, this is going to be especially helpful for individuals. This is more so of a individualized tool within a project manager. So, if your team wants to take a break, you would have an idea of what is their current workload, what time are they looking to take a break, and what project would be hindered if they do take a break. This is going to be really helpful to manage shifts if you are a manager. If you're looking to replace resources, then you're going to have a simple view of different portfolios of each member, and you can manage workloads evenly across individual members. Now, above that, we have a reporting section. You can click on Get Started over here to get started with reporting on Asana. Once you do that, you can click on Add Chart to add different types of charts on Asana. You can create your own customized charts, but you also have some templates available. You have progress based charts as well as work health and resourcing charts. Now, for most projects, I recommend that you have a progress monitor that is based upon the number of tasks completed. So you can do this in the form of a bar chart, in the form of a pie graph, or in the form of a simple graph. And you can also do it with a custom field. So if I want to view the overdue tasks within a project, I can do those over here, like so. And this is going to be a bar chart. I'm going to make it red. Then I want to report on the tasks, and then I want them to include all the tasks within my workspace. Or let's say I only want to monitor tasks from the floral project. Then below that, I can choose to display data labels, and then I can choose the axes, so what I want to display: the assignee, the creator, the custom field, the task type, completion status, and then after that I have the task count, so the assignee and the total number of tasks. And let's say that I want to filter these out and I want to exclude a certain task, or I want to, filter out a certain task, I can do that as well. But we're going to click on add. And now this just shows me a simple bar chart of the total tasks done by an assignee. You will see in your reporting section, you have certain charts that are added by default. You can click on remove over here to remove any old charts that are not relevant to you. And you can make this your own customized visual space to view your project's progress. Now, I am going to customize this a little because these really do bother me because they're really large and I don't like the, counter over here. So I am going to remove these charts that just display numbers, and I just like to have a visual appearance, a visual look in my reporting tool. So I like to click on add chart. I'm going to click on add custom chart, and I want to create a simple chart that is going to be a line chart, and I want to track the tasks that are from my workspace. I want to show data labels, and I want to display the task count, and I want to add filters, and I want to filter them based upon incompleted tasks. So how many tasks are incompleted or how many are completed? I can click on add and you guys can see there are no completed tasks within my workspace, so it has nothing to display. And this is going to be really helpful when you're looking at a bird's eye view, when you're trying to just get a overall view of what needs to be done and what has been completed. Now, this covers most of the major parts of Asana. It's time to go a bit more in detail on how you can further use Asana in the most efficient way. Firstly, you have a quick access tool on the top left to create any new task, project, message, portfolio, or goal. You don't have to scroll down and open up your side menu bar. You can just click on create and then just proceed on. Then another really important section that a lot of people skip out on is their profile section. You're going to find this on the top right, and then you can click on settings. From here, you can change your name, job title, team, or department. Then you're going to add an About Me section. This can usually be your work hours. Then you can set an out of office time as well. You also have notification settings where you can allow browser notifications as well as get Slack notifications. You also have email forwarding, account info, your display, apps, and hacks. Then you also have an admin console for your Asana workspaces. So this allows you to just manage Asana in a more efficient way. You can view insights as well as view members, your billing, and more. Now, let's get started with our final few steps on Asana, which includes automations and applications. So open up your relevant project and then click on Customize on the top right. Once you do that, you're going to click on Apps and you're going to choose the app of your choice. Let's say I want to get notifications in Slack's workspace when I am updating Asana. So I'm going to just click on Slack, click on Add to Project, click on Connect to Slack, and this will open up a new tab where I can allow Asana to link to my Slack account. Then you have to do the other connection, so allow Slack to link to Asana. This will link my Slack and Asana workspaces together. Now, once you do that, you can proceed with your automations. So you can directly add them or you can just remove it like so. But now Slack has been integrated. Now, to add my automations, I can click on Customize on the top right. Once I click on Customize on the top right, I can click on Rules. And you will see different types of recommended automations that are, added into most workspaces that Asana is going to recommend for you. You're going to choose the automation of your personal preference. So let's say that we have tasks or subtask completion status is changed. Or let's say that a status is changed that I want to send a channel message. This is really important. So when a status is changed to off track, then I want to send a message and I can choose the channel. So I'm going to send this in the general channel and I can write in a message, and the message is going to be in general, and I'm going to notify at risk task. Project is going off timeline like this. And then I can click on publish rule. Now, whenever one of or any of the tasks are updated as at risk, this will send out a Slack message in the general channel. This ensures that all members of your workspace know when your project is on track, when it is off track, and your managers or you can pay attention whenever any task is going off track. You can set up hundreds of automations on Asana, and you can set up different types of automations to your personal preference. Just click on rules on the right and you can start choosing the type of automation. You can even create your own customized automation. First, you just have to set a trigger. So let's say that when a approval status is changed, I want to add, a notification to the relevant person. We can add that over here as well. Now, once we've set all this up, we can just click on blank task and start adding our task. Let's say that this is a simple task of finding a water fountain for rent. And then we're going to open this up and then we can add details. We can assign this to a person. We can add a due date. We can add what project it is related to. We can add any dependencies. So let's say until we arrange our lilies, we're not going to be able to find a water fountain. We can add that. Usually it's more so, let's say that we need to find a location for our event first, and then we can choose to, rent out the items that we need. We can add the priority of this as well as the status and the department it is related to, like this. Below that, we can type in descriptions and add subtasks. Subtasks can include things like individual steps that are going to be needed to be taken to accomplish the larger task. So, for example, to find a water fountain for rent, I need to have a price comparison for ABC location. Then I also want a price quotation by local vendors. So let's say that I also want to have a price comparison or price quotation with local vendors. And then at last, I want to, select the water fountain that we're renting. So let's say this is in progress currently. And then after that, once it has been completed, it can be moved over here. So I hope you guys found this video helpful and you are now able to get started from scratch with Asana. Now, if you're looking to get started with Asana, the personal plan is completely free and you can collaborate with upwards of 10 teammates. You can create unlimited tasks, projects, messages, and much more. And you have board views, calendar views, basic search filters, and Android and iOS mobile apps to make sure that you're able to stay on track anywhere at any time. Then, if you want to upgrade, you have the starter plan at only $10.99, where you can collaborate with upwards of 500 team members with advanced views such as timeline and Gantt views, the workflow builders, project dashboards, global custom fields, and more. Keep in mind that automations are a feature limited to starter plans on Asana. Then you have the advanced version starting at $24 with everything from the personal and starter plan and workloads, as well as 2,500 automations, form branches, approvals, proofing, and much more. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you have any questions, queries, anything you would like to know about Asana, or anything else that you would like to know about project management, leave that in the comment box down below. I would love to know what you guys have to say.